I just took a bite out of my favorite Greek-style turkey burgers, and guess what? You're gonna make them too so they can be your favorite. It's a delicious turkey meat, all encompassed with so many flavors, topped with a homemade tzatziki. It's a delicious burger, perfect for summer grilling. Let's make them. Greek-style turkey burgers are just a great way to dress up a turkey burger. Turkey burgers are a great thing because they have low fat, they're nice and lean, really good protein, but you can add so much flavor to them, and that's what we're doing today. And we're gonna start with my finishing sauce, which is a tzatziki, a traditional Greek sauce that's super delicious. You're probably gonna wanna keep it on hand as a dip. And we're going to begin by grating some cucumber. Now I have small baby cucumbers. I'm just using a grater with some paper towel over a strainer, and you're gonna see why. Cucumbers, as soon as I start to do this, do you see all that liquid and water that is just right there? Cucumbers are full of water, which makes them super healthy and give you some water as you're eating them. But when you're making something like a sauce, if you don't want it to get too watery, you need to do this step. So what we're gonna do is just put everything right in there. And now we can actually squeeze out some of that excess water content. Now you can do this also in a kitchen towel. I think a paper towel, if you're careful, just has less cleanup. But do you see, look, I'm squeezing out water, and this is from a small amount of cucumber. So imagine if you're making a lot, what this does. So you can see, just that, look at that, how instantly we got out some of that. Now, I know you could juice that, you could put it in your morning drink. You can also just throw all this right in. So there's a little bit, don't worry, of water still in there. We're not making them super dry. We're just pulling out some of that excess, so when we actually mix all this together, it doesn't just become too water laden, which sometimes, you know, with a sauce, and especially that's going on top of a burger, you want it to have a nice thickness to it. So we have Greek yogurt. Obviously, again, Greek yogurt is strained yogurt, so it has less of that excess liquid too, and it has that great tang to it. So we can really just now dress this up with a few things that really round out all the flavors, starting with a garlic clove that I have the skin off of, and I'm taking a small microplane grater. I'm gonna grate this right over. It obviously breaks all the cell walls to make it strong, but also it melts into it this way. So you're not getting pieces of raw garlic. It just is going to melt into this beautiful sauce. So what I'll show you here is you have to be careful too. If it's a sharp one, obviously, watch your fingers, but look underneath. See how it's making that pulp-like, and you can just knock it off, and it's all right in there. I love how simple this really is. So for this, we need some fresh herb flavor. So we have some dill, fresh dill, just went out to my garden to get this, and some fresh mint. Now, mint can be one of those that's like, really mint? I think we're way too used to mint only being used, especially in the States. Tea, kind of some other simple things. Mint in so many savory dishes adds a bright spot that to me, you just can't lose. I like to throw it even in my fresh salads here in the summer. It's a way to dress up kind of anything and have this great, fresh, bright flavor on it. So we're gonna chop it up together and make sure we get it somewhat minced, but honestly, I like to make sure we see it too. In the finished dish, I want us to be able to see it. And mint and dill go together so well that even as I'm sitting here and smelling them together, it's just a match made in heaven. We're gonna add some salt, some good kosher salt to make sure we have that seasoning. We're also gonna add some black pepper and then some lemon juice. So we're gonna put in the black pepper, and I like to freshly grind it just so it has that fresh bite to it. We're gonna cut a lemon, check for seeds, which it does have. So we're gonna make sure we squeeze it in and then just mix it all up. And it's really simple. You really just stir it all together, and you can see how it's bright, it's fresh, the color is beautiful, that flavor is gonna be beautiful. Look how simple that is, and that just all stirs together so quickly. And one of those things that is really, to me, better as it sits a little bit. That garlic exudes, the seasonings work. We can taste it a little bit for fresh, just to make sure our seasonings are correct. That's good. I love the pungency of it. So I'm gonna set that aside, and now we can make our burgers, which are really simple too. I have everything behind me that I need to start, which is a bowl. We'll use the parchment a little bit. So I have ground turkey right here. Ground turkey is lean by nature. Usually what I always find is around a 93% ground turkey. So you can put it right into your bowl, and we're gonna add everything to it. So turkey by nature has a little bit looser consistency than things like ground beef. So for this, I really feel like breadcrumbs are super essential, and that's what's really going to hold it together better. So I'm gonna put breadcrumbs right in. You can actually use gluten-free too. I've tried it with both. And then I have a real beautiful mixture of flavorings and spices, and that's what's really gonna bind this all together. So we have dried dill, dried basil, onion powder, garlic powder, and dried oregano. The reason I'm using dried in this instance is because they work into it better and they grill better and keep their flavor, which is essential. 1 egg, this is gonna help bind it all, especially with those breadcrumbs. And then we're gonna do, of course, you know we need to, for seasonings, salt and black pepper. That's the beauty of it, it's so simple. This is where our hands make the best work. They really do. You can wear gloves if you want to. Start with clean hands, then just mix everything together really well because you want it to be incorporated evenly, including those breadcrumbs, including that egg, because you want everything to be obviously an even mixture, no pockets of one thing. So you can do now a couple things if you want to. You can pat it out and visually just kind of sit here and divide it into how many burgers you want. I sometimes start with like a cookie scoop or like a dough scoop or something and just start by portioning it and then needing to adjust how I want to. Now, I usually will make 8 burgers, and I think that's perfect. You can also, if you want to, you can make 6 burgers and make a little bit more of a hefty size. It kind of just depends on what you're in the mood for. But I think this is a good way to start portioning them, and then I'm gonna show you how I make sure that they're in a nice, even patty. So I'm forming the burgers now. You can see I portioned them. I like to use a biscuit cutter for that. Especially with a turkey burger. I think, do you guys remember, I don't know if you remember, growing up we had a Tupperware, remember Tupperware? Forming set that it would come with all these stackable things and a press and you'd make your burgers in it and have a little individual container for each one. Those actually had a good purpose. But what we're doing here is pretty much the same thing. We're using a biscuit cutter, setting it down and getting the thickness and the round shape perfect. To me, they grill nicer then, they have a better edge, they don't have those cracks in them that you can get. And you can see how perfect they come out. And then when I take that off, I like to just kind of smooth that top a little bit. So at this point, I like to set them in the fridge for a few minutes, 20, 30 minutes, just to make sure they really absorb into that breadcrumb and hold together well. While that's happening, I'm gonna go preheat the grill, clean it off, get it ready. So it's really the perfect timeline to do that. Wash my hands, put them in the fridge, then we're gonna grill. To grill, I heat the grill on high for about 15 minutes, clean it off, and then I always like to oil it well. I just think that makes sure that these are not gonna stick and they remove perfectly easily. I just take some paper towel, dunk it in some high heat oil, rub it over the grates. Then I grill these over high heat for about 4 to 6 minutes per side until they're nice and charred, and I do take the temperature. I like them to reach 165 degrees. Remove them from the heat, take them inside, and build your burger. I have the burgers in front of me, and you can see they grill really beautifully. I do think one of the key things is oiling the grates and making sure you let these rest in the fridge so that breadcrumb or that, panko crumb really absorbs that moisture and helps them hold together better. Now, I did toast the buns, as you can see on the grill once I pulled these off. It just keeps, sometimes buns are too soft otherwise for everything we want to put on top. So these are all the different things I like to use to build this burger. Obviously we have our tzatziki. I like to have some crumbled feta. I like to have some red onions, some lettuce. I'm still using garden lettuce. So it maybe looks a little ready to be used, but it's been inside for a while. So what I have is just pretty much a little bit of lettuce. And then this is where you can build it to wherever you want. I have had these with ketchup, mustard. They're good. They're just better with these things, I think. Because you get, look how thick that is on top. That's what you want. You want that nice thick sauce, and you can use as much as you want. Honestly, you're gonna want leftover because you're gonna wanna dip things in it later, and then put some crumbled feta. It will give you that little bit of briny bite that to me, it just takes the place of cheese. And that's what I really like. And then this is your burger. Like, how is this not exciting? This is summery, this is fresh, this is really the flavors you wanna enjoy, and it's still a burger. Top it. That's a tall burger, but I'm gonna do it. That's good. You're getting all the flavors. You know what flavor you're not getting? The red onion I forgot to put on. I love the onion on it too, but always red because I think it's like less astringent than just regular white or yellow onion. Perfectly cooked burgers. What I love about them, the turkey, they are tender. They almost melt in your mouth, but they have all that flavor we added to them. That tzatziki is just that punch at the end. Some crisp lettuce, everything finishes it off for a delicious summer burger. You're gonna want these on weeknights, you're gonna want them on weekends. You know what? Make the patties ahead, put them in the freezer, pull them out as you wanna grill them and let them thaw in the fridge. You can do whatever you want with these, and I think you're gonna love them. So, what do I hope you do with this? Yeah, I hope you share this video around so other people can see good, delicious food is easy to make at home. Even when you switch up the flavor profile, it's something fun, it's something new, and it's something you're gonna wanna make time and again. Check my website, wyseguy.com for this recipe, all my other recipes, and until then, enjoy some summer cooking. That's what it's all about.